Hey, it's the preacher, and it's been a while. Let's have a look at the garden. All right, as soon as you come in the gate, we got a wall of straight 8 cucumbers here. I think we have about 5 or 6 plants in there. They're coming on well. Starting to get cucumbers off them. Here we have a couple of jalapenos, I think 4 jalapenos. A mixture of tomatoes. I know I planted them too close, but the plan was to have 2 varieties of tomatoes. And through a series of events, I think I've got like 5 different tomato plants in there. So it didn't turn out exactly like I wanted, but it's making tomatoes. Here we have a row of peppers. I have some long or big hot peppers. I have Hungarian cheese mix, some Ozark giant bell peppers that are a little smaller. Anyways, we just gone through there. Got a bed of flowers over here. You'll see pots of flowers around. I move them wherever I want the pollinators to go. There's a bed of lettuce in that tub, and then we planted a container small tomato. I think it's called a Sundrop or sun cherry. I can't remember, something like that. At the end of the flowers, we added some walking onions. I got a bed of thyme, and then more flowers. On the back side of the tomatoes, I've got marigolds, some cauliflower, and broccoli. The broccoli we've harvested heads off of. We're just grabbing some small shoots that it's now making. We've got a couple of pepper plants squeezed in there, and then we've got yard-long beans starting on the end of those cucumbers. Got a couple of containers here with gherkin cucumbers in them, the pickle size. I think, I'll zoom in, you can probably see some. We've been making pickles for a while now. And these need to be picked. There's several on there that probably need to make another batch of pickles. Just past them we have some more tomatoes. I believe these here are chocolate pears. I grew 3 different kinds of small cherry-sized tomatoes. Chocolate pears, Sundrops, and sun cherries. And we kind of mixed them up. We moved them around, we moved tubs around. Over here's some Swiss chard with some marigolds underneath it. We've been eating on that, and it just still grows. It hasn't bolted yet, so we could probably pick a big mess of it. But I just come out every morning and break a leaf and a stalk off and dice it up for my morning omelet. There's another container tomato with, that's oregano, probably 3-year-old oregano growing out of the bottom of that container. My wife's favorite little hanging basket. Over here in this corner, we've got some flowers and some more container tomatoes. We train these just to grow against the fence, and then we just let them grow down the fence. Here we have a bed of onions, red onions on this end. They are about done. Some of them I've already been eating, and some of them are about done growing. These here, they just keep growing and growing and growing, and I don't know if they're going to make heads or make seed, but make bulbs or make seed. But either way, they're going. On the other side of them, we have more flowers and pots. And then there's 4 habanero plants and 2 cherry peppers. And then in between there and the fence is a box of green beans. And I don't remember what we had in there to start with. Some cool crops. Anyways, we let it set, added chicken litter, and then put in green beans. So that's basically the garden in a nutshell. That's not the only garden. Let me show you the other garden that we have. We have 2 flocks of chickens. This little chicken coop here used to sit in the front side yard, and the other chickens were in the backyard. Well, we consolidated them, and we moved their chicken pen from right here over to the other side of the backyard. And then we got volunteer plants. And it's probably 20 feet from this side of the camera to this side of the camera. And those are watermelon vines, because we fed our chickens leftover watermelons from time to time. We also have some other plants in here. This here is a tomato. I don't know what kind. Something that went through the digestive tract of a chicken or just got the seeds covered up, but you can see a few tomatoes on it. And if you look in there, you'll see lots of tomatoes, even a couple I'm guessing this is going to be milo or millet, some kind of grain that evaded the chickens' beaks. You'll see a few tops of tomatoes sticking up in here. Here's a couple of pepper plants. We don't know what kind, but we're going to let them go. We caged these tomatoes here just to get them upright. They look like some type of cherry tomato. Not really sure which kind. But we've just decided to let it go, and it's doing well. And I think you can kind of see some of the... there's watermelon blooms there, and they're all in there if you get down and look. So this is just kind of a natural native garden. And these all came up on their own, volunteered. We did come in and weed it a couple of times when it was small, and now the vines have kind of taken over, and we're just letting it go. There's old Silas, our young rooster, and a couple of his hens. Silas. There he is. I'm just a short side-by-side ride away from my in-laws, and this my wife and I helped my mother-in-law put this garden in. Let me give you a look around of what's going on here. These first 5 rows that you see that are kind of spotty, these are purple hull peas. And then we have a couple rows back in the back of green beans. And then there's 4 spots along, let's see here, there's 4 spots along that old horse corral. We have cucumbers. You might see them starting to go up the fence. There's 4 mounds of cucumbers there. Here we have a couple rows of onions, and some of the red ones seem to be early first. They're starting to fall over. We have red cabbage. I noticed yesterday a little bug damage on these first 2. And they're really just starting to make good heads, so I need to get that sprayed before I get cabbage worms down in there. So anyways, you mainly have red cabbage and then some green cabbage down through there. Here we have a row of squash and zucchini. Actually, I think it's 8-ball zucchini, which makes the round zucchini. I saw some in here the other day. Give you a look down in here. You can see there, that's yellow zucchini here. And then this way, these plants are a little bigger. These are the 8-ball zucchini. I think you can see a couple right down in there. Make the round zucchini. Those will be dark green or black. Then we have a row of okra. This is probably a 35 foot row of okra. And then you have tomatoes in a number of sizes. A lot of the tomatoes we planted early got curly leaf virus, and some of them still have it. And we left a couple of them just to see what would happen, and they're stunted. The tomatoes that are on them, they're making. Here, I'll walk over there and show you. So you have a healthy tomato, and then you come down here, and the leaves just all curl and wither up on the top. I don't know if you can see that. They just kind of have been stunted. And they curl up and look weird. You see some down there that are all rolled up and folded up. And we left these 3. It's not supposed to be contagious. It's transmitted by a bug, and the bug's gone. And then you go back to healthy ones. So we replaced some of these, and some of them we dug transplants from the chicken, the volunteer chicken garden. There's a look at the green beans and the purple hulls. Now I kind of feel like that fella on the late night infomercial. You saw my raised bed garden, which you've seen in years past. My mother-in-law's garden, which you've seen us plant in years past. You saw the chicken garden, but wait, there's more. We put in a couple gardens below the hill. I got a Kubota tractor this year, and I bought a tiller for it and a brush hog, and I was able to go out and clear a little land, and the plan was to put in 3 or 4 gardens down in the edge of the river bottoms where the soil is a little better for crops, and that was our thinking. But it's turned off to be El Nino, which is drier and hotter than normal. That's what they're calling for. We don't have any water down there, so The planting's limited, but it's our first shot at it, so let's go down and see how that turned out. Here's a tragic story. That's about a 40-foot garden bed that we had tilled up. I had 2 rows of onions in there and a row of cabbage. And my neighbor was spraying his fields and got over and sprayed in our field and sprayed everything in this bed about 2 weeks after we planted it. We had it all covered in straw. Everything was growing and looking well, and it died, and then we realized what had happened. He sprayed where he shouldn't have sprayed, and it killed all of our stuff. But we like our neighbor. We understand mistakes happen, so we're not too worried about it. It's disappointing. That's just part of life. We tilled it all under, and it's ready for fall crop. Some of you will know where we're at just by that landmark alone. Here's one of our gardens down on the edge of the bottoms. And here on the end we've got tomatoes. I just came in and broke up this ground. Watering is going to be an issue because it's been so hot and dry, so here's been our plan. I have these 2-liter bottles. This is just something I came up with. I've got 2-liter bottles. I drill a couple holes in the end. I fill them all up and haul them down here, and then I just set them by each plant. As you can see, we tried putting a gallon jug in between them, but I mean, look, there's pretty good sized tomatoes going in there. I wouldn't say it's my best garden ever, but these are really just kind of tomato plants we didn't have room for, or a bunch of these we dug out of the chicken pen and transplanted down here. And that's been our solution. So about every 2 or 3 days we come down and fill up all the 2 liters and water jugs and put them back. I have this area tilled. You can see this is good dark black dirt. The plan was to put sweet potatoes here, but just with the forecast being so dry and not having a consistent way to water, we've decided against that for now. But over here on this side, I do have a line of okra through there. And then on the other side of the okra, that's a row of cucumbers. I think that's like Tuscan favorites or something. I don't remember. I started all those from seed. The okra I just direct seeded, but it's done very well. I've thinned it out a little bit. And this is one of the gardens down here. So we've got just some of these tomatoes were really small when we put them in. Some of them were larger. Some of them are doing great. Some of them, I mean, I'd really have no idea what any of them are. The cantaloupe vines, they're doing well. I put the tomato cages, or the little cages around them, just to keep the deer from eating them when they were really young. I knew once they got started, they would probably be okay. And I water these by 5-gallon bucket. I just bring a 5-gallon bucket down, unscrew the pour spout, and usually put 5 gallons on them every 3, 4, 5 days. They seem to be doing well. I got one more little spot. Let's go check it out. Kind of looks steamy down through here. We got the first rain, really, we've had. I think we got about 1/10 of an inch, and we haven't had rain in a long time. We got 1/10 of an inch yesterday evening, so man, it is really steamy here. This also is just an experiment. The plan was to put some other things there, but like I said, they're calling for a hotter than normal, drier than normal summer. And I just don't think I can keep maintaining the water that would be needed to plant that. So I'm going to maintain it, and we'll put some fall stuff in there. These here are what's called Turk's turban squash. They're the kind of red and green and orange, and they have a wide bottom and a little bit smaller top. It looks like a turban. So anyways, I planted these under plastic from seed. They have all done very well. That little bit of debris you see on top, this is chicken litter that I cleaned out a chicken house and threw in there, or chicken coop. Then down here on the end, this was where I threw all my leftover old seeds. So I had some different lettuce seeds. You know, these are things that were sent to you. You know, you order $100 worth, you get 4 seed packets or whatever. So out in here, that's what we did. We threw lettuce seed, we threw onion seeds, turnips, radishes, mustards, and that's basically what you have. I mean, these are some very nice lettuce plants here that you could really come in here and fix you a good salad. These yellow flowers you see are coming from a type of lettuce that we planted in here. And we didn't do anything. We didn't rake them in or nothing. We just threw them out, let the birds eat them. Whatever happened, happened. There's a bunch of weeds in there. I've walked in there and pulled a lot of radishes. These are mustard greens here. These are real curly leafed looking greens. Those are mustards. You could definitely go through there and pick plenty of mustards. So let's talk about where I've been. I've been getting a few text messages, emails, and even a few comments asking if I'm okay, where have I been. I haven't made a video in probably 3 months, I'd guess. I've been fine. I've been doing well. I've been busy with the ministry I'm in, the church that I'm the pastor of. A lot of that has taken up time. I mean, all these different garden spots I've shown you have taken up some time. The reason you haven't seen videos is because I'm just burnt out on YouTube. YouTube has changed, and the changes have kind of left me in the dust. If you want to grow your channel, and I'm not interested in growing my channel, they want you to produce shorts. Shorter videos are the way to go now. I'm just not interested in trying to film 45-second videos and upload them just so you'll have something to watch and people will stay connected to my channel. The type of content I produce is varied. So some people like watching fishing videos, some people like watching hunting videos, some people like watching shooting videos, some people like watching gardening videos or cooking videos or barbecue review or travel. And so what I run into is my subscribers are pretty varied. I can't do hunting videos anymore. When I do hunting videos, my neighbors start sneaking in trying to kill what they see me showing on camera, or what I've already killed. They think there's another one waiting on them. People are calling my in-laws wanting to go duck hunting on our ponds, asking if they can come and duck hunt where they've seen me make a duck hunting video. I mean, that's just, to me, I would never call someone and say, hey, you know, someone's parents or in-laws and say, hey, can I go hunt where your kids are hunting? But when you put things on the internet, that's what happens. So hunting videos, fishing videos, those are all things I like making. I can't do them anymore because my neighbors are trespassing. I show up at the ponds I catch fish in and there's lures hanging in the trees and minnow bags on the ground. So that's out. YouTube doesn't like the gun videos. I like them, but YouTube doesn't like them. So when I post those, they automatically get filed in Chapter 13, never to be recommended again. And reloading's the same way. I don't enjoy reloading videos. They're just kind of boring to me when I make them. It's just like once you learn the process, there's really nothing else to it. So that just leaves gardening and cooking videos. And when I make those, a lot of my subscribers aren't interested in them. YouTube is not interested in promoting them unless I'm constantly on a regular basis putting them out. And I don't do it for the money. I do it for interaction with you guys and views. And it takes a long time to drag a camera around, set it up, edit it, upload it. And you do all that work with, I think the last time I looked, I had like 8,500 subscribers. So I do a video and I get 70 views. Something's wrong there. And I think what's wrong is YouTube just, I don't think they like the kind of content I produce, and I don't think my channel gets recommended much. So I don't know, it's just not fun anymore. And I used to watch YouTube a lot more. I don't watch it near as much as I used to. It used to be the only thing I watched. I came home and everybody else in America watched television and I watched YouTube, but that's not the case. I just think YouTube has made some structural changes that has affected their viewership. It's affected the way they recommend videos, and it just doesn't suit me anymore. So this is probably where we're going to be for a while. I just periodically, if I think there's something you guys might want to see, I'll make a video of it, I'll put it out. But going back to weekly or bi-weekly, I don't see it happening. My viewership, even when I was regularly making videos, is less than it was a year ago. Ad revenue never has been a thing for me, but it's down as well, even when I was regularly producing content. And it's hard to do a lot of work, and then YouTube decide this is not what they want their audience to see, so it just kind of gets put in the back corner. It just kind of takes the life out of you, and I think that's really what they wanted to do to some of us, is take the life out of us. Many of the channels I do watch have had not copyright strikes, but community strikes for making content that they deemed not fit for their community. So a lot of rambling here. To sum it up real simply, I miss you guys too. I enjoy all the comments and the back and forth, and it seems to me when I look at what I used to watch on YouTube, all that's left are the really big channels. A lot of the mid-sized channels and small channels like mine have gone by the wayside, and I guess I would be one of them. So I'm not turning my channel off. I'll still turn out a video when I think there's one to be seen, but I really just like eating barbecue without a camera in front of me. I really like gardening without having to set up and get the shot and edit out anything that is, you know, unstable or fix audio. All that stuff, it was fun when people were viewing it, but when you're doing it and no one's watching, it's not as fun anymore. So anyways, it's not goodbye. It's just, you probably won't see me as often as you used to, and that's okay. I still watch some of your videos. I just don't watch YouTube as much. The ads are too often and too long. And I don't know, it's just changed. The platform has changed. And I guess I'm just too old to change with it. So with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next video, and that may be a few months.